It's not what's happening to you that's hurting you. It is the threat of what could happen to you that is stealing every good day you got. You can't enjoy the good days because the enemy is threatening you, so you don't get any peace when things are well, and you don't get any peace when things are bad. Because when things are good, you're worried about them going bad. And when they're bad, you're dealing with what bad happened, and you haven't had any rest. You've had sleep, but you haven't had rest. You're tired when you get up. You're tired when you go down. You are up under attack.
You got to come up with some times in your life that you unplug from this crazy world. Turn your phone off. We live in a world today that's got us so focused on everybody else that we're comparing our life to everybody else's life, and anxiety and fear come whenever you start dwelling on the past and whenever you're afraid of the future.
An anxious and a worried mind is not normal. But you know what? You're going to worry until you finally realize that it's useless. It doesn't help your problem, doesn't solve your problem. All it is us saying, I think if I think about this long enough and worry about it long enough, I can figure something out. And it's not going to work.
The only way that you actually step into happiness and joy is when you put the focus on where you are at and get engaged with the thing that you're doing.
What's the old story you keep reading? Maybe it's not a success. Whatever you've achieved up to this point, that story you keep talking about, every second you spend in that old story about what you've achieved, your degree, some business you had, every time you live in that story, you're stripping time and focus from the new story. What's the new story you're telling yourself? You can't have a new identity without a new story.
What are the things that you need to let go? Some things that have caused you pain, that's stifling your growth and development. What are those things? What is it that you need to do to begin to upgrade your skills or your knowledge? As you begin to look at yourself and ask some of these questions, what is something that you're good at? Let's think about these things. What would you do if you had 1 year to live and guaranteed success in anything you decided to do?
It is a satanic espionage that has come against you for such a time as this, and you're being attacked in ways you don't even understand. You get depressed and you don't even know what you're depressed about. You'll be driving down the road and you feel like, I don't even want to go to work. I don't even want to be me. Look at how extreme it is. It's not just I don't want to go to work today. I'm sick of being me. You feel like crying and you don't even know what you're crying about. It is a satanic attack attacking your mind.
After you spent all night spinning, all day spinning in your head, and what if they, and you know, it starts with the most innocent thought. It's not, the devil's been at this a long time, sweetie. He's not going to give you a bad thought. He's going to try to give you an innocent thought and get you to take it in the wrong direction. A scenario that on the surface doesn't seem that bad, but it's the way you spin it. It's like Fox News and CNN. It's one story they're telling, but it's spinning different ways. And it's how you spin it that determines how you see it.
Worry is like rocking in a rocking chair all day. It keeps you busy but gets you nowhere. At the end of the day, you'll still be in the exact same spot, just going back and forth, back and forth.
You're not the nut you used to be, but you're not the tree you're gonna be. But until you learn how to appreciate where you are in the process, you won't get the power to evolve to your ultimate destiny.
We need to grow emotionally. You can't keep crying about the thing you cried about last year. You can't keep complaining about the thing you complained about last year. You have to learn. You're growing. You can't keep being overwhelmed by what you were overwhelmed with last year.
What is no longer needed? What emotion, what anxiety, what thought, what belief, what person is no longer needed in my life? I never tell the old story. I don't like telling the old story. I'm constantly trying to write the new script, become the new character in my life. It could be the new beliefs I have. It could be the new story, but I'm constantly retelling a new story all the time. I'm constantly obsessed with writing the next chapter of my life, not reading the previous ones.
It's one thing to cry about that last year, but you've grown. You learned that lesson. Don't go backwards, move forwards.
You're in love with tomorrow, but you're neglecting today. And when God sees you neglecting today, He will not give you tomorrow. Until you are faithful over the few, you cannot be ruler over the many. It is a spiritual attack that comes against you in spiritual ways. And because you're up under attack in your spirit, in your mind, in your emotions, you are lonely. No matter who you're around, no matter how many people know you, you end up alone because you are up under a private battle that you can't talk about.
There are going to be times when your circumstances are inconsistent with your dreams. And in those moments, you have two choices. Number one, you can reduce your life to your present circumstances, give up on it. Or you can believe your life will catch up with your dream if you won't quit and won't give up. Never allow circumstances to change the dream God has put in your heart. Never.
If it works, it's obsolete. Because whatever it is, it will be obsolete before long. Now this is something I think each of us should check ourselves against regularly, weekly, if not daily. We should ask ourselves, what am I still doing the old way? Have I dug myself a rut or two that I'd be better off to climb out of?
Just take maybe 2 or 3 minutes and ask yourself, what do I need to do today to challenge me, to reach my potential, fulfill my strengths and the purpose that I have in my life? If you challenge yourself and follow through on it, it'll be the greatest challenge and give you the highest return of any challenge that you'll ever receive.
You must prepare for success, even if there is no indication of it. You must prepare for success, even if you have become accustomed to failure. Take the time to prepare, and prepare hard.
The greatest value in life is not a bank account. The greatest value in life is not a car. The greatest value in life is this. Make a note. Living a good life. In the midst of all of our achieving, building, growing, helping other people, being a part of society and the country and the world, being all this stuff, here's what you must figure out all of your life, how to continually live a good life.
You know there's something in you. I know something about you. And there's something in you saying, I want more. I want more. I want to be happier. I want to fall in love again. I want to do more than I am right now. You never know. This might be the day. Most people will not challenge the unknown. They won't just step out there. See, there are certain things that's got to be in place. They got to see it all together. And life isn't like that. That's not how you grow. As you look at your life, as you begin to look toward the future, you say, I'm not getting what I want. Begin to know that whatever it takes for you to create that, you got that in you. You got that. Identify your gift and get busy with it. God gave all of you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. Get busy at that. He put that gift inside of you. He didn't hide it under a rock or put it under the mountain or put it on a mountain somewhere. He put the gift in you. That's how you become successful. Identify your God-given gift, what He gave you at birth. and get busy with it. Now, some of you that said, you know what? I'm taking a chance on me. I'm going to build something for me. This is the entrepreneur's economy. Don't give up on that. Hold that vision tenaciously. Through all the frustrations, through all the failures, I built my business on rejections, on who do you think you are?
So when you look at your life and start asking yourself a question, what does my life look like right now? What does it look like something I want to be in? Ask yourself that. What does your life look like? And what's the benefit of holding on? What's the benefit of being afraid? What's the benefit of not trusting yourself? What's the benefit of staying right where you are, a place that you don't like to be? What's the benefit? Don't let no's intimidate you. Don't let not knowing where to start intimidate you. Leap anyway.
Of the 5 things that you would like to do if you had the courage to do, I want you to pick one thing, and here's how to set it up for yourself that will help free you and get you unstuck. What is the worst thing?
What is controlling your thoughts? Is it the television set? Feeding your mind images of what life should be? Is it drugs or alcohol numbing your brain and diminishing your desires? Or is it weakness, a lack of discipline that prevents you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish?
If you quit, whatever you were trying to accomplish can never happen. If you quit, there is no chance of it popping back up again, coming back later. Quitting is guaranteed failure. When you're trying, you're going to fail. You have to make sure that your dreams and goals are so big that not accomplishing them is not an option.
I'm not saying that there aren't things in life that we just have to do. There are. But what I am saying is ask questions. Don't believe everything that you're told, and don't follow the path just because it's there. Don't get in line just because other people are. Get up. Be conscious of what is creeping into your mind. What are you letting in there? What is forcing itself in there? You have only one life, so don't waste it.
Take inventory of what you're giving space to. Life is too short to go through it with negative things holding us down.
Every action and every discipline today is a link in the chain. Every action and every discipline in the future is a link. When you can see that every link in the chain will eventually lead you to the things you want most out of life, then you won't grow discouraged or impatient with today. When you can see where you're going through visual chain thinking, even on the toughest days, you'll keep building your ambition by knowing where you're going, not just where you are today.
It's easy to go around worried about our future, stressed over our finances. We're tempted to live guilty because of past mistakes. We wonder why we don't enjoy life, why we can't sleep at night. It's because our mind is cluttered. You weren't created to live guilty, bitter, upset. If you're going to reach your destiny, you have to clear out the clutter. You can't stop negative things from coming, but you can keep from staying. You don't have to hold on to it.
Your plans and goals are your visual chain, knowing where you're going before you get there. Develop a plan, a game plan. Here's the first rule for your game plan of life. Don't start your day until you have it finished. Don't begin your activities of the day until you know exactly what you plan to accomplish. Don't start your day until you have it planned. The value is the fruitful result of discipline, not hope. Once you've mastered the art of planning your day, you're ready for the next
When we
level.
make mistakes, guilt will come, telling us how we don't measure up. You can hold on to it, go around down on yourself, or you can let it go. You have to be proactive when it comes to keeping your mind in peace, because all through the day there's clutter.
One of the most difficult things to be able to manage in your life is what to do when you fall. To know that your life is not over and the game does not stop just because you bruised your arm, or you to feel pain and rise up anyway and say the fight is not lost just because I fell in the first round, just because I got tackled or ran into an opposition. And many of you have run into something, got some bruises, and you're sitting on the sidelines nursing your wounds when you need to get back up again and get in the game.
No matter what happens to you, it ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet. You got a shot to correct it and get it right. You can decide that you're going to stand up to life. You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am. You have the power to make that decision. Somebody sent me a plaque one time that said, if you're going through hell, why stop there? You just gotta fight through, man. You gotta bite back sometime.
If you're going to fulfill your destiny, you have to have a made-up mind that no matter what comes against you, you're going to keep pressing forward, looking for your next victory. You have to have a warrior mentality. And if you will shake off the self-pity, then God will not only bring you out, but he's promised he will bring you out better off than you were before.
I was reading this article about Mike Tyson. It was very, very interesting. Heavyweight champion of the world, and now he's struggling. At 20, Tyson soared to uncommon heights as the youngest heavyweight champion in history. 19 years ago, he was at the top of his game. Everybody was talking about him. He was the flavor of the month. And everybody loves you when you're up on your feet. He won his first 37 fights before Buster Douglas shocked him. See, what makes falling terrible is when you've gotten used to winning. Sometimes a loss will shock you. See, some of you have had so many losses that winning shocks you. But there are others of you that have had so many victories that when something really goes wrong, how do I overcome failure? The article says over time, Tyson spiraled downward. Once he started losing, he couldn't stop it. And so many failures, he's lost all trust in everybody. I will never be happy, he says. I believe I'll die alone. I've been alone all my life with my secrets and my pain. I'm really a sad, pathetic case. He says, I just want to escape. I'm really embarrassed with myself and my life. You don't have to be Mike Tyson to look back over your life and say, I'm embarrassed to be in the mess I'm in right now. He says in the article, he says people think more highly of Jeffrey Dahmer than they do Mike Tyson. Because when you start going down, the same people who rushed in to cheer you on and got into fist fights about anybody who said anything against you, when you start going down, those sane people. That's why you can't get drunk off the accolades of people, because people will change on you in a minute. People will fall out with you about something that has nothing to do with them. They just heard somebody say something and now they hate.
But here's the key. You can't become so dependent on people that you're getting your worth out of how they treat you. It's easy to become addicted to compliments, addicted to encouragement. Now you rely on them to keep you feeling good about yourself, to always be there to validate you. Like a drug, if they don't keep you fixed, you get discouraged, work overtime to try to win their approval. If you rely on people, you'll be disappointed. People will let you down. Sometimes people will even turn on you. In the scripture, Peter was Jesus' close friend. But when Jesus needed Peter the most, when he was about to be crucified, Peter denied that he even knew Christ. Quit relying on people. What they do or don't do doesn't determine your worth. If you're always depending on somebody else, you'll become needy, waiting for other people to keep you fixed. Learn to receive your value from your Heavenly Father. If you're basing that off of what people give you, then if they change their mind, you'll feel devalued. But when you go to God for it, nobody can take it away. Shake off the disrespect. Don't believe the lies that you're not talented enough, attractive enough. They don't determine your value. The only power people have over you is the power that you give them. Jesus had all kinds of people come against him, trying to discredit him, make him feel inferior, cause him to give up. He could have taken the bait, but Jesus understood this principle. He said to them in John chapter 5, your approval or disapproval means nothing to me. He was saying, I don't have to have your encouragement, your support to keep me moving forward. But when we know the creator of the universe equipped us, empowered us, anointed us, we can put our shoulders back, knowing that if God approves us, we don't have to have people's approval. You can feel good about who you are, knowing that God handpicked you, put seeds of greatness on the inside. You don't need somebody else's praise. If nobody's complimenting you, you can compliment yourself. Get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror. Good morning, you good-looking thing. Call it by faith. Say what God says about you. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm one of a kind, I'm highly favored. You have to encourage yourself. You cannot rely on your spouse, your parents, your pastor. They may mean well, but no person can meet all of your needs. If you're just looking to people, eventually you're going to become resentful, start holding that against them. It will sour the relationship. If they're not giving you what you need, and that was the only way to get it, they would control your destiny. God didn't design the plan for your life and say, okay, it's all dependent on if these other people do what's right. God put everything you need within your power. I've heard it said, in a relationship, the most the other person will have is 80% what you need. The mistake we make is we leave the 80 to go find the 20 in somebody else. The problem is that next person will be missing 20% as well. Part of the 20% that I'm missing, that Victoria needs, is I don't like to talk a lot. Small talk is not one of my favorite things. Victoria and her family, they can talk for hours. They enjoy each other. We were having lunch one time at our house with all of her family, and After about 30 minutes, I asked to be excused and I went to the back and watched the football game. 3.5 hours later, I came back and they were still sitting at the table. Nobody had moved. Well, I said, "What are you talking about?" Victoria said, "Nothing." The key to a good relationship is to recognize the other person's strengths and weaknesses, then give them room to be who they are. What I appreciate about Victoria is she doesn't say, "Joel, come in here and visit with us for 3.5 hours or I'll get upset." But she recognizes that's a part of the 20% that I don't have. I thank God every day that I didn't get it. But Victoria, she doesn't try to squeeze me into her mold. She doesn't try to get something from me that I don't have. Sometimes God will let us go through seasons where we're not getting what we expect from people, to teach us to not rely on another person, but to get our encouragement, our worth from Him.
Hey there, welcome to my channel Daily K Motivation 2024. Control your emotion. It's not what's happening to you that's hunting you, it's the trend of that could happen to you. That still every good day you can enjoy the good days because the enemy is starting you so you don't get any peace. What things are will and you don't get any peace when things are bad, because when things are good you are worried about them going bad, and when they are bad you dealing with that bad happened and you haven't any rest. You had sleep, but you hadn't had rest. You trained when you get up. You trained when you go down. You are up under attack. Your life that impulse from the scary world, turn your phone off. We live in world today that got us so focused on everybody else that we're comparing your life to everybody else's life, and anxiety and fear come whenever you start dwelling on the past, and whenever you are a fear of the future.